Winners and losers from week number 16. Some of you advanced, some of you didn't, some of you don't know yet because so many other players still to play. 3 games to go, 6 teams to play, huge player names to drop some points tomorrow night. Let's break down everything that happened. Let's talk about 2024. Some of you need to look in that direction right now because not everybody can win. There's one winner. There's one winner. Some of you play many leagues, so you can have a loss, still have a win, but a lot of people are going to be a little sour tonight, and I think that's okay. Venting's all right, but there's still a whole lot to talk about. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. The Breece Hall, Gibbs, Amari Cooper, Ridley celebration show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Lots of, breaking news, but more so reporting on what has happened and transpired. And a lot of you have monster performances out of Gibbs, Breece Hall, dud games out of guys like Laporta, Achane, a handful of players, and some TBA stuff that could literally, knock you into the fantasy football championship game or take you out. So we're going to go over all of that and more. But there are so many players that dropped loads all over the field. There's going to be some negative Nancy's in the chat tonight. I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to be on a short leash depending on how you come in and try and disrupt this live stream because you may have lost. If you lost because of one player, that's on you. And everybody out there is responsible for their own decisions. I can only do so much. I can only get so many things right in a given week. And I can't help if someone doesn't play well for you and the rest of your team doesn't support it. Okay? But I am here for you. I'm here for you every day. This is my job. I work for you. I try and be as accurate as I can be. And some of you took home championships tonight. And some of you locked in a spot in your championship game tonight. And some of it has to do with monsters that we've been talking about all year. And I know a lot of people are going to go in the negative direction of Achane tonight. There's going to be a lot of Achane negative Nancy's in the chat. A lot of haters in the chat tonight. A lot of hating Henrys. But it's not going to get me down. It's not going to get any of us down that have won weeks and have still been killing it with our teams because you're never going to have all your players step up at once. So you can come in and complain all you want. No one's going to hear it because we're here to celebrate. Why? Because there's a man called Gibbs. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
Got him.
There's a little man known as Breece Hall that took home some championships tonight.
Get Breece.
So we've got a lot to celebrate. And if anybody lost, my condolences to you if you did lose your league today. Don't blame it on one player. Don't blame it on one player. Don't blame it on the people around. Don't blame it on even me. And I don't care. You can blame it on me if it makes you feel better. But I'm just letting you know that's not going to make you a better fantasy football manager. If you thought tonight because other channels do it that I'm going to come in and sit here and apologize for getting something wrong during championship week when not everybody can come in and deliver, you're in the wrong place. Because we had a lot of W's today. We had a lot of people take home championships in advance. And we had a lot of players dropping loads from Ridley to Gibbs to Hall. We've got a plethora of players that absolutely exploded. We're going to go over some of those again tonight. But if anybody comes in and blames it, I lost because of Achane, take some responsibility for your team. Take some responsibility for the fact that your team didn't carry Achane, because Achane carried you in other weeks. And if you're going to come on and act like, and I've seen the comments already, Smitty, he's droppable, I'm dropping him next week. I wish you played in my league. I wish this overreacting Oscar that says something like that played in my league. And I would love to invite him, potentially, if there's any openings, because that is the kind of thing that is just absolutely backwards. Just straight up backwards and laughable in a lot of ways. I mean, especially if you look at this situation with, like, Laporta. What are you going to write Laporta off because Laporta had a bad game? Laporta got 18 yards. You going to write him off? Laporta had about a 3-game stretch, maybe more, where he didn't do what he was supposed to be doing. And did anybody write him off? No, he exploded the past couple weeks, and he dropped an egg tonight. Doesn't mean he's a bad player. Achane, talk about the elephant in the room. Just get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. For anybody in here ready to just sit here and think you're going to get an apology tour today, you're not, because we exploded. As a whole, we've got W's all over the board. Okay, a lot of winners in here. People filed on in, said, won my championship, got the dub, I advanced. Okay, no crying about it. We adjust and adapt. Achane, 24 yards. 1 catch for 7 yards. Am I going to come in and apologize for Tua, who kept overthrowing him again? Doesn't matter. He didn't produce, but is he garbage? No, he's not. And if you think so, I can't wait for the offseason. I can't wait. I can't wait for next week, because it's not over. So, think what you want about the man, because he didn't deliver. He didn't get the work. There are a lot of players that did do well and exploded in week number 16. And we're going to talk about those players right now. Breece Hall, 20 totes, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also added 12 receptions for 96 yards. 12 receptions. He had 95 yards rushing, 96 yards receiving, 12 receptions, and 2 touchdowns. He absolutely exploded. Absolutely exploded. And Breece Hall, this is probably a Saturn, man, before January 1 when we announce it. To Saturn, Breece Hall.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a whole of a job. A whole of a job. A whole of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a jale bayot.
Get Breece.
Get Breece. He just, God, what a day. What a day. And Gibbs coming in with a strong effort. He could have scored another 2 or 3 times in this game. But what I always say is, like, if the touchdown happened a lot later, like his touchdowns did, then you can't really say he'd have those other later touchdowns if he had those earlier ones. So I try not to think like that too much. But there were occasions where he should have had a touchdown, and he ended up scoring later. But it was a different scenario. I think he would have probably ended up with 3 if I'm being honest. At least 3 touchdowns. He had 2, 15 totes, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns in the Lions' Week 16 win over the Vikings, adding 4 receptions for 20 yards. Absolute straight monster.
Got him.
Monster. Straight monster. These 2 guys are probably the most, proud, our most proud moments, I think, this week on the channel. Just 2 guys that had a tough go for a little while. Bijan Robinson also had a very, very nice day. Should have had so much more. Could have had so much more. Could have had so much more, like, all year, because he delivers whenever he's called upon. Bijan Robinson, 12 rushes for 72 yards in a Falcons Week 16 win. Kind of sucks they won in a way. We want Arthur Smith to fail. But 7 receptions for 50 yards. I mean, That's a good day. That's a really good day. Bijan is still trending very high, much higher than people think for running back rankings on the year, even though he feels like an utter bust in some capacity, given the value, given the expectation. I get it, but we know the talent is there. We know he's an absolute freaking monster in the waiting. We need Arthur Smith gone, and we talked about this on the show last night, I think, and the night before as well, that if Bijan Robinson, let's call this the first round, the second round, and the third round, and the fourth round, let's say Arthur Smith is going to stay, and that's announced, and we know, and we start drafting in April, May, June, whatever, then we're probably going to see Bijan go in the third, maybe late second round, somewhere in this territory. But if Arthur Smith got fired tomorrow, even without, let's say Bijan didn't even play another down for whatever reason. Let's say he went on a vacation. Let's say he had a big migraine that lasted a couple weeks, whatever the case may be, and you raptured him from the NFL. He was healthy. He's going to be fine. No long-term injury, but he didn't even get to play. Or let's better yet, let's just say he does pretty well, 90 yards and a touch. And then let's say 100 yards, no touchdowns on the way out the door. Like, those are two good games, not electric explosions or anything. Or let's say one's an 80-yard game and one's a 100-yard game and one touchdown. Let's say he finishes pretty decent, and that's it. And Arthur Smith gets immediately fired. Bijan goes in this territory. I venture to say there's some dipping into round two for people early on, but certainly he would go in round one. It all depends on Arthur Smith, every single bit of it. But this is a really good day. Very efficient. 72 yards and 12 totes is fantastic. 7 receptions for 50 yards. He's an absolute gem in the PPR department. It's just we all wish he got more work. I mean, it is what it is right now, and it's hard to sit him. It's hard to start him. It's just the way it is. In fairness, that's how Breece Hall was entering this game. That's why not everybody probably had Breece Hall in their lineups. And admittedly, there were questions where it was Breece Hall stardom, no doubt about it. And then there were other questions I got last night where Breece Hall wasn't even in the for sure locked in three running backs because there were just 3 safer guys based on the way players were scoring. So it's not all rose petals, white doves, and you know, bars of gold just sitting at the doorstep for every one of you. I understand that. Amari Cooper was phenomenal. We'll get to Amari in a second. CeeDee Lamb, 6 of 10, 118 yards and a touchdown. He was glorious in this Sunday evening game. Calvin Ridley, so proud of this guy and what he did in this game. 6 of 9, 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Another player that admittedly was a good play for some of you when you asked me in other questions. He didn't have the low risk enough situation to put in, and you had other guys like DK that felt a little safer that didn't do as well. There are a lot of ways that you couldn't have put in a Calvin Ridley, and you can't beat yourself up over that. Gibbs round 1 next year. Of course, Gibbs is probably top. I would say EA Gibbs is probably a top 5 overall pick. You know, some would say he's the RB2, and I don't have a problem with that at all. So it's a great topic, a great topic, a great conversation. Ridley was definitely amazing in this game. 2 touchdowns and 90 yards. You couldn't ask for anything more. That helps a lot of our hires on the underdog preseason stuff that we dropped. Let's see here. We got that was Bijan. Already got that one out of the way. Amari Cooper, here it is. Let's get this one out of the way because this guy deserves to be touted, talked about, flowers given. Not the easiest start from week to week when you have bigger name players and you're just like, I got to start these bigger name players. Right, wrong, no, I don't know, help me. And to be honest, there's a lot of dilemmas that are so complicated and hard to decide on. And some of you had a decision that really had Cooper like on the verge of being on your bench or in your lineup, and you didn't know he was flex material because you're in an 8-man, 10-man league, or you just loaded at wide receiver. But this man exploded, and I venture to say anybody that had Cooper on their bench probably went into a coma today, and hopefully is good to go in the morning. But if you know of anybody that has Amari Cooper on their bench, reach out, see how they're doing. Maybe give them a call in the morning, shoot them a text. But good God, 11 receptions on 15 targets, 265 franchise record, 2 touchdowns. Could have even been more in this game. Amari Cooper exploded. What a phenomenal day that man had. Amari Cooper to the moon.
To the moon.
Fantastic day. Dallas Cowboys are probably looking at that going, damn, we let that guy go, didn't we? Justin Jefferson, 6 of 9 for 141 and a touchdown. This is great to see. This is great to see, and it gives you hope that he's so talented, and what he did on the field, you know, he made things happen. He took bad throws, turned them into receptions, extended plays, did it when even defenders were double teaming him and the defense knew it was coming. Like the Lions literally knew it was coming. The problem we have is that he's getting beat up bad. Even some of the shots he took in this game with the hospital balls that Mullins is going to throw to him, these are a lot of hospital balls. There is a risk for injury given how much this guy's taking hits. But I would say, like, JJ played so well. There's just no hesitation. Like, there can't be. He's your wide receiver number one. And if for some reason you've got a guy playing better than JJ, then, you know, he can't be anything less than tied for your wide receiver 1 or your high-end wide receiver 2, that you're just lucky you have two absolute studs in your lineup. But, like, there's no debate. I don't want to see a single, hey, do I start JJ next week? You just got to play him. The guy was double, triple teamed, and he was still, the defense knew this was coming. Hey, we're throwing it to JJ. The Lions couldn't stop it. And so you got to start him. He's absolutely phenomenal. I hope to God he gets Cousins or some sort of consistency next year, and we know all that really early on in the offseason. So hang tight for that. The offseason is going to be lit. Tyreek Hill was still a little banged up, you could kind of tell, but 9 of 14. He pulled in 9 receptions on 14 targets, 99 yards. Definitely a good day, but not what, you know, fantasy owners were hoping for, given his upside and ability to, what he can do. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 12 receptions, 106 and a touchdown. As good as always. Where do you guys have Amon-Ra St. Brown? Rank him 5, 4. Put Amon-Ra wide receiver 3. Amon-Ra wide receiver 4. And I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about in 2024. If you're drafting today for 2024 redraft, put Amon-Ra or St. Brown wide receiver and throw your number out, and I'll throw those on screen. I really would love to know if you guys see him as the 3, the 4, the 5. He's so consistent. 12 of 14, 106 and a tutty. What a day. What a freaking day for this man. Mike Evans continues to defy all odds. 2 touchdowns, 86 yards, 7 receptions. What a monster. Just don't expect it to change. Like, he is what he is. He's an absolute touchdown gem. And next year we'll have a conversation because he's getting up there in age. But it doesn't matter for 2023. It doesn't matter for the remaining game, really, that you have. 2 games, whatever you end up playing in your league. But we really don't care about 2024 when we talk about Mike Evans right now. He is an absolute steal. This is a guy we talked about being just a gem, especially when we did best ball drafts, and he was sitting there in double-digit rounds sometimes. It was ridiculous. This is an elite wide receiver 1, and nothing is changing. Amon-Ra, wide receiver 3. Amon-Ra, wide receiver 4. Rise Above says wide receiver 3. Superfish says, give me wide receiver 4 for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sun God says James 4. Travis says 4. I love seeing all this. 3. Shane's got the lowest one so far, and it's not that you're wrong. I'm just saying that's the lowest we've seen so far. That's just facts. Golf says 5. So both of you say 5, which is not bad. It's a great ranking. I'm not saying that's bad. Yez says 2. Wide receiver 2. Kenny says 4. Ryan says 2. Peanut Butter says 3. Unbelievable. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Coming in, I'd say the average of that's like 4, 3.5, 4. Which, no, they call it 4. 4 is high. That's high. That's crazy. Crazy cool. I love the guy. I have no problem with it. It's just, man, it's amazing coming full circle with this guy. Let's get into some of the duds. So, as I said, total disappointment game out of Achane. Depending on, just like we adjusted and adapt coming off of the week prior, it's not a case of, is he droppable? Oh, I'm an overreacting Oscar. He's garbage. I won't even draft him next year. You're talking about the man's situation, not the talent. It's shining through and showing that you're literally a reactive Roger. If you're talking about this man being garbage or not a good player or droppable, this was situational. Mostert got 11 carries. It wasn't like there was a lot of carries to go around, and he got 7 of them. So you think what you want on Achane, it's fine. And if he lost you your league, you didn't have any support. You can't expect your team to win if one player does bad and you have no support. Laporta, same thing. Like Laporta at 18 yards. What are you going to do? Write him off? You going to write off Laporta because he had 18 yards? Guy's a monster the week prior, and he's been all year. And he's the number 1 tight end. And everybody had him borderline first rounder in our redraft ranking video the other day where the chat voted on the top, whatever. We did running backs, but when we talked about where Laporta would be, Trey McBride, he crapped the bed. We got to write him off. He's a top 4, top 5 tight end going forward. No doubt about it. 31 yards. You got to be prepared. You got to be okay with having a player that drops a dud game in your semifinals, even your championship game, because you're not going to have a perfect picture. Travis Etienne, 6 carries, 12 yards, 19 yards on 3 receptions. He crapped the bed. But do you hate him? Are you writing him off? No. DJ Moore. He got injured, came back into the game, I believe, but still 18 yards, didn't do well at all in this game. That was a bad outing. Kenny Walker looked good in spots, but this was kind of the thing that kind of bugged us all year. And it's just like, you see him do so well on certain carries, and then damn, man, the guy just doesn't get used properly in the right spots. Disappointing day, but still such a bright future. Such a bright future. Just an amazing, amazing, amazing future he has. He just needs to be used properly. Okay, let's see here. I don't think people are saying put a lot of emphasis on Achane. Of course I did. I'm not running from that. But you can't sit here on a day when so many people had success and won their leagues in this community. And we had Gibbs going off. We had Bijan doing really well. You could say went off, essentially. I mean, not as big. Breece Hall, Ridley, Debo's been going off for everybody consistently. We've got a lot of people doing well because Achane had another bad game. I need to hold myself accountable, as somebody, a couple of you were saying in the chat. What do you want? What did you expect me to do? Come on here and just say, I can't believe I failed when we're doing well. What are you talking about? Like, we're gonna have players that fold, and it doesn't mean they fold for the season. It doesn't mean they fold for next week. But what on earth did some of you expect to see tonight? That because one player did bad and the rest of your team didn't support that one player that did bad, that I'm going to come in and say, good God, we all feel that way. Good God, we should have been prepared for this. We did something wrong. I did nothing that I regret in terms of promoting Achane or how I feel about Achane. What all you Achane haters don't seem to understand is that I still believe in him. I still see the talent in him, and because he struggles, because he doesn't get used properly, and that could be part of your argument, and that's fine. And we can walk into next year with that debate, hey, I don't think he'll get used right. But if you think that I don't believe in Achane, you have the wrong guy. You're watching the wrong channel. If you expected me to come in here and say that Achane is not good, I admit I was wrong on him. I wasn't. I'm not. He's amazing. He's a great player. He's an elite player. And if you don't agree with that, that's okay too. I'm not saying people that disagree have to go or should go or I'm not the channel for you. But if you expected that and if you demand that and if you think it's, oh, somebody said, Smitty in the comments, you demand an apology for Achane. I apologize for absolutely nothing when it comes to believing in a player and the player doesn't perform. That's called fantasy football. That's called fantasy football. And that is just the nature of it. If you can't handle that, why are you playing? Like, why are you playing if you want me to be 100% on all my picks, and if I miss on something, You want me to what? What did you expect me to do? Because Achane didn't deliver. Admit I was wrong when I don't believe I'm wrong. Act like he's trash because everybody wants the Monday morning quarterback and overreact and Oscar overreact on Achane. Are you doing that with Laporta? Are you doing that with Trey McBride? Are you doing that with Travis Etienne? Are you doing that with DJ Moore? Are you doing that with Kenneth Walker? It's crazy to me what some people's expectation level is when something's missed. All right, here we go. Let me hit these other questions here. First super chat. Actually, do we have any? We do have some more news real quick. We have a lot of news. I'll try and rip through this real quickly. 24-38 attempts, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns for Kyler Murray. Pretty decent day. Mostert, as I said, 11 carries, 46 yards. He did get the touchdown that helped salvage his day, but Achane was not so lucky. But doesn't mean that if you sit Achane next week because you're so pissed off about how it happened and you want to define Achane already, then go ahead. I'll tell you what, there's a couple of you that seem to not really like the direction of the show. I'll make it easier for you. There you go. David Montgomery rushed 17 times for 55 yards and a touchdown. 2 receptions for 14 yards. Rachaad White, 20 times he ran that ball, 39 yards. He's not doing like the most amazing on the ground yards per carry. He's just such an efficient pass catching back, and he's so heavily involved. The volume is crazy. The volume is insane. The volume is nice. And, the fact that he gets 38 yards on 6 receptions on a bad day, and this isn't a bad day because he punched in a touchdown, but like that's Rachaad White. That's why he's a top 5 to 10 running back right now. It'll be very interesting to see where he ranks walking into the the early part of 2024. Like, where is everybody going to rank Rachaad White? Is he running back 6? Is he running back 7? Is he running back 10? Is he running back 4 for some of you? Evan Ingram, 10 of 15, 95 yards. He's always pretty consistent. And, with Kirk out, it's pretty, I think, understandable that he's going to do fairly well and be consistent. Njoku, 6, 44 touch. Nice job. Nice job. Punch that thumb up button on your way in the door. Derrick Henry, 19 times, 88 yards, touchdown, and threw a touchdown. This guy is up and down, but he's still doing it. He's defying the odds, although he is very inconsistent. He ran the ball 15, 16 times last week for 0.6 yards per carry. And if they get him the ball properly, he still has the force and the ability to punch it into the end zone, barrel over somebody. They got to run him properly. They did in this game. It's all about getting him the football in open space or allowing him to just barrel over somebody, not try and break through a hole and use speed or efficiency or quickness, because he doesn't have that anymore. He just has lost that. He's lost a step for sure. And he's not somebody I'm going to be investing in at all next year because he'll be 30 years old. 28 is the new 30. Fields, 15 of 27, 170 yards, a touchdown. He also ran the ball, touchdown, and 97 yards on the ground. Fields was solid in this one. A lot of you had Fields dilemmas, and hopefully you feel confident if you started him and you got what you needed. And if you didn't, if you sat him for, let's say, a Jalen Hurts or a Lamar Jackson or a Mahomes or whatever, hopefully you get what you need. I still think there's room for other quarterbacks like that to outscore him, or at least score what he did. Joe Flacco, a lot of you had Joe Flacco questions, and I admit this was very, very tough for me to buy into, but I did. Whenever we got a Joe Flacco question, I was like, pretty much for the most part, unless it was Joe Flacco versus like a big name quarterback, it was like last night, I don't like it, but he's been doing it. Just start him. Start him until the wheels fall off. No one's thinking he's got anything left for the future, but right here, right now, he's delivering. He's doing it. And so, you got to throw Flacco in there. 368 and 3 touchdowns. 2 interceptions, was costly depending on your scoring, or it was not costly at all. Might have just been minus 2 points. But 3 touchdowns. He continues to deliver. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Raheem Mostert, already had that one. That's an extra. This one right here, Aaron Jones, 21 carries for 127. He looked really good in this game. Let's hope he can stay healthy. That's the big knock on him. He is an older player as well, and he's had a tough time staying healthy this year. James Conner was pretty solid, 45 yards. He had a touchdown as well, 67 yards on 5 catches. Actually, more than solid. That was a really, really good game at the end of the day. That 5 for 67 and a touch. I mean, that's a great wide receiver outing all in itself, and he had 45 yards on the ground. So Conner was really, really solid. This one right here, DK Metcalf, 4 of 6 for 56 yards and a touchdown. That was a pretty decent day. He salvaged it with the score. That was pretty good at DK. I think people were expecting more, wanting more, but that's still a good day. You can't complain about that. Dak, 20 of 32, 253, and 2 touchdowns. Not the worst day. And then here we go. Last news bit here is JT, 18 carries, 43 yards. Not really good yards per carry, but he did have the touchdown, kind of salvaged the day. But we at least know that the volume's there, the trust is there, the touchdown situations probably are his. We'll take it week by week with him, though, in terms of what we feel the volume's going to be. Let's hit the Super Chats real quick. We got a lot of you dropping Super Chats. We've got Deckard with the first Super Chat of the evening. You get a standing ovation. Deckard, appreciate you, Deckard. He says he's 8 foot tall. He will always answer the call. He's talking about Breece Mother freaking Hall.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
I mean, he really does. He really does. He gets the job done. He does a hell of a job. Thank you, Deckard. Appreciate your super chat, my guy. Achane coming in with the $5 holler. Happy holiday, Smitty. I'm in the semis and up by 32 points. They got Kittle tomorrow versus AJB, Barkley, and Pacheco. Do I win? Close one. Up 32, and you've got Kittle tomorrow versus AJB. Yeah, I like your chances, man. I'd rather be you than him, but I mean, anything can happen, bro. But this is a defensive-minded game, in my opinion, so it'll be some, I think, lower scoring totals for those guys than you think, or at least one might score well. And Kittle could be the guy that scores the best. Gibbs, Amon-Ra, and especially Breece to Saturn.
To Saturn.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, Andre. To Saturn, going to the Bowl, other league up 157 to 139. He has Hurts, and I have Swift. No dud for Swift, 54% favored. Nice job. Go get him, Andre. I have faith in you, pal, and nice work, bro. Nice work. Way to deliver on the season, bro. Luke, appreciate you. I'm up by 6. I have Kelsey, Barkley, and KC defense left to play. Opponent has CMC, Kittle, Mahomes to play. Think I stand a chance. Well, I'd be curious. I love when you guys throw in the odds of percentage favor that the system gives you. That definitely is nice to see what they think. But I think you're probably, so you're up 6, have Kelsey, Barkley. I'm up by 6 and have Kelsey, Barkley, and KC. Opponent has CMC, Kittle, Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, I think you have a chance. Yeah, I think what you need to have happen is like Kelsey and Mahomes kind of cancel each other out. You need to have Barkley have a big day, KC to have a pretty decent day, and you just need CMC to be kind of neutralized to some degree, and Kittle be. I mean, it's gonna be hard. I'll be honest, Luke. I'd rather be the other guy, but it doesn't mean that you can't pull it off. Like, at what percentage am I thinking? Like 70%? It's still a shot, 75% chance that he wins, 70%, something like that. That's just me being real. But I've seen greater feats happen, bro. Greater comebacks have happened. Amari Cooper, 11 for 265, 2 TDs, fire monster. Let's go, Amari Cooper.
To the moon.
To the freaking moon. He had a day, Rise Above. He had a freaking day, bro. Call your boy loud, $5 holler. Appreciate you. All you do, pal. Swore I was done drafting any Jets on underdog for this season, but had a feeling smash Breece in drafts all week. Congrats, call your boy. I'm glad you did. I hope you won some money on Underdog. And if anybody wants to hit those higher lows or draft week 17, week 16, or week 17, even week 18, it's going to be tough to draft that. But week 18, the mittens, the playoff drafts are fantastic and fun. Go to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, and I'll drop that link in the live chat right now, and I'll pin said link, and you guys can all sign up. Minimum $10 deposit, but they'll double your first deposit up to $100. So if you do a minimum deposit of 10, they'll give you 10 if it's your first time and you use code Smitty, which that link provides, code Smitty. So get ready for some Week 17 drafts because we're definitely going to do them. Hi, me with the Super Chat. Start Waller versus the Eagles or Kittle versus Baltimore. I'm going Kittle. I can't sit Kittle. Matchup be damned, man. Evans is him. Great call on the offseason, Smitty. I was 50-50 on Evans. With age and situation, you stayed loyal. Respect. Thank you, Golf. Appreciate you. Yeah, he wasn't like a moon man, but we definitely talked about Evans all the time. You know, Evans was a fantastic, a lot of it in best ball. I'm not going to say we did a ton of redraft on videos on him like in late September or early September or late August, but we certainly, I mean, almost every time we draft, it was like Evans, boom, look at him, Kamara, Evans. Those guys were phenomenal late grabs. So definitely big players for the show in general. Forgot to mention I won 112.5 on Underdog, 112.5 on Underdog on a 5 for $5, two scorchers involved. Nice job, Andre. Nice job. Way to crush it, bro. Way to bring it home. You guys should all try that on Underdog. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. Let's see here. I don't mind the Achane hate and negativity building, leaving the season more doubt than he's cheaper next year. Honestly, call your boy loud. That eventually where that will be where I turn next with it. Because if you think I'm unless he suffers some sort of catastrophic injury, if you think that I'm walking into the dark night, into the abyss, and just tucking away the Achane content, putting it in a suitcase and burying it down at the bottom of the ocean, you got another thing coming. What it eventually turns into right now, it's me trying to get people to start him, you know, at a flex capacity. And you can say what you want. Some of you have options where you don't want to start him, and I'm okay with that. And this week will be a little different. I'll have a little bit more of a laxed approach to whether you should play him or not. But if everybody's going to automatically sit him because they're pissed off, that is not smart management. So after we get through the season, call your boy loud, where my Achane attention will be directed will be on the everyone hates him. Let's see how far he falls. Let's see how far we can grab this league winner, and he is a league winner. You say what you want. I really could care less how many people think that Achane's done. He's garbage. It's the weirdest hate train I've ever seen in my life, and it's part of why you hear so much content from me. But it's not biasly shaping my content. It's not biasly making me double down. I'm not double down Donnieing on this. I think that the haters are doubling. They're the double down Donnies in this situation. Can I drop Pollard? Been contemplating it all season. No, Clemency. No, you can't drop Pollard. First of all, who's going to be available that's better than Pollard to pick up? No. A lot of people like to drop players to wash their hands of them. Like, no, don't drop Pollard. Hand him. You'd be ridiculed by your league if you gave Pollard to the other owner. You know, not to mention, like, did you make it through and you want to drop Pollard? Whose team will win the championship next week? I appreciate your super chat, by the way. PPR, Kyler or Love? Pick 2, Pacheco, Swift. Whose team will win the championship next week? PPR, Kyler or Love? Pick 2, Pacheco, Swift, Hall. I don't understand this question. Okay, versus this other team below. Gibbs, Monty, Saquon, Adams, Puka, Kyron, Njoku, Kyler, Love, Pacheco, Swift, Hall, JJ, Amon-Ra. I don't know. To be honest with you, bro, I mean, those look really close. I think I probably lean toward the first team, maybe. because it's got Hall, JJ, Amon-Ra. I love Pacheco, CD, Laporta. So at a glance, but I mean, anything can happen. There's almost too much right there to even evaluate. But I would say probably the top team. I hope that's your team. Let me know if it is. Appreciate you. Started off, and don't drop Diggs. People dropping Diggs. People dropping Achane. You can't. What is this? What are we really talking? Like, is Diggs done for the future in terms of his valuation, or what some people are willing to pay in 2024? Still, probably, yeah. Eckler, same thing. But like, would I cut any one of those guys? Eckler, Pollard. After Pollard was a high-end running back 2 play this week, and now he's droppable to some people. Like, you can't think like that. That's overreacting to the extreme. Standard 1-4, made the playoffs at 7-7, 1 win away from the championship game, down 36, have Devontae Adams, Mahomes, Pacheco, Rice left, opponent has kicker. I like your odds, bro. I would love to know I wish you guys would include the guesstimation percentage of the system predicting your win or loss. Like, what do they say you are? 65% chance of winning, Chester? 70%? 80%? I'd love to know if you can throw that at me. Mr. T had to summon Bijan, Henry, Gibbs, and Higgins to fight Amari. I'm still down 6.12 full PPR, and he has Philly D, and I have Elliott and either Rice or Devonta Smith. Who? Chat, can we vote on this one? I kind of feel like thank you, Derek. Derek's the only one that said this. Aside, so many people in here. Not everybody. Like, a lot of you watching, we have about 300 people in here. So many of you are amazing. Look at all the super chats that I've got in here. So, like, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful whatsoever. Like, I work for you, and I can't explain to you how much I appreciate every single one of you. But this is a nice comment here while there are people in here trying to come in and derail the show in the chat, and some of those people aren't here anymore, if anybody's wondering. Derek in here saying, Smitty, give Smitty the award for talking fantasy on Christmas. Awesome, baby. Appreciate you, Derek, because I work for you and I care about every single one of you. And while maybe what I said earlier came off in a way that was built off of a little bit of frustration, maybe all I care about is you guys winning. That's all I care about. I even sometimes let some of my fantasy teams go because I'm alive. Like, if somebody needs to be picked up, I go live. I don't comb through 22 leagues and try and grab the player. I literally miss out on almost every gem pickup because the first thing I do is go live. When there's an injury, instead of running to my 22 teams and swapping the player out, I come here. Like, all I care about is you guys winning your championship and doing your best. But as I said earlier, if someone wants me to come in here and apologize for one player not delivering, and apologize or somehow their expectation is I'm going to come in and feel like we failed as a show because a player that I continue to pump up isn't doing well, you got the wrong channel. That's just not this channel. And those are two separate things. Still very grateful. I mean, I wouldn't be here without any of you. Without you, I absolutely would have nothing to say. There'd be no one here. I'd just be talking to myself. This would be no show at all. No show at all. But for anybody to pick on one player's situation, it's just a bad look. It just is a bad look. That you're so down about your loss that you're not taking any accountability for the rest of your team not supporting a win. That you're blaming it on Achane, or you're blaming it on the content that surrounds Achane. What about the content around Jahmyr Gibbs? What about the content around Breece Hall? What about the content around all the other players that are helping you win? It's just so weird. It's just a weird time, and it comes around every year because you think about it logically. 11 people in your league are it's down to 10 10 people in your league are pissed off. They lost. They're upset. I get it. I understand it. That's why a lot of the time I just let it blow over. But when people have this tenacity to kind of come in and try and just be a disruptor, and they're so pissed off at themselves or their own team or their own decisions, they take it out on the people around them. More importantly, I care about that more than taking it out on me. But yeah, don't come in and box score Bobby this thing. The box score Bobbies have spoken, Smitty and Gibbs to Saturn. Thank you, Christopher Smith. Appreciate you. But Derek, I appreciate your kind words here. You know, it means a lot. Just wanted you to know that. Okay, let me get to these other super chats real quickly. This one from Who Dat Gator. Smitty first, and in my underdog group with a 20-point lead, I have CMC and Zay Flowers. My low wide receiver has 6, and a flex has 12.7. Merry Christmas, and thank you for all you do. Thank you, Who Dat Gator. I've got I think 8 underdog teams left, 8 or 9, and they're spread out. Like I have some in the super flex big board or puppy or whatever it was. I've got a puppy. I've got another big board regular. I don't have any BB4s left unless, I think something crazy happens tomorrow night. But I have about 8 or 9 of these underdog teams left. One of them is just absolutely off the hook. I hope this one goes far. It's winning by a couple points now. And I have CMC and Debo and Kelsey. And I think Mahomes going tomorrow on that team that's already in first place. And, I have to win that grouping. So I feel very, very good. I looked at the other teams, and only one of them had McCaffrey, but they didn't have the other pieces. So I have a feeling I'm moving that team on, but that team is loaded. That team, I'm really hopeful that team is the one that takes home a big prize for me. But that will be into the advancing, I hope, and then the other ones are dependent on tomorrow. I got a lot of Christian McCaffrey on those teams, a lot of Debo across the board. So we'll find out. I'm in second and third in a couple of those. But underdog's so fun. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, in the offseason we draft underdog teams. Right now you can draft underdog teams. Just use the code that's pinned in the live chat. Link is in the description of the video, and let's do it live. Appreciate you all. Let's see here. That's Derek, thank you. My guy Waddle, why'd he have to get captain? Yeah, Waddle got hurt twice in this game, and just crapped the bed hard. He's such a hard player to trust. It's so hard to trust Waddle. He got poked in the eye, then he went out and injured his ankle, I think. I don't know what to think of him. We'll have to find out what's his status for next week. Had to summon Bijan. Oh, I got this one already. I love it, bro. I love it. As far as this question here, Mr. T, I'm sorry I didn't answer it. Guys, can we vote on this? Rashee Rice, or Devonta Smith? I'm going to put this over in the corner, and we're going to answer that in a minute from Mr. T. I want to make sure he gets a solid vote from everybody on that. Rashee Rice or Devonta Smith? Who are you going with? 8 leagues, 5 semis, on to the 5 finals. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, DeBolt. Appreciate your super chats, your support. I appreciate you updating me, too, because I'm excited for you. I don't care that I lost last week. Love your show, Smitty. Thank you, Rise Above. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your everything about you, bro. Red says, I was trying to call, man. Just say thanks. Things didn't go my way, but appreciate you, brother. Red, it's only 2 teams in every league are advancing, so don't feel bad, bro. You got to this point. You were one of the finalists, my man, and you did it, and things won't always shake out. The phone lines will be open in 1 second, Red. You can call in 1 second, okay? Learn from this year. Apply it to 2024 fantasy. That's right, Rise Above. There's so much to bring to the table for next year, and there's gonna be a lot that we need to look at, of course, every year. And I always try to, just like I tell you guys, improve your weaknesses. Everybody's got to improve somewhere, and so even me, some of the things I'm going to look at are more situational risk that maybe I don't factor in as much walking into my analysis. I don't think there was a lot of risk to Bijan at the onset of evaluating everything because of what Arthur Smith did with Algier the year before. Algier's not been a threat to Bijan. The carries, it's more been about usage. It's not anything to do with Algier. But there's certainly other situations that had a lot of risk to them. But then you look at like the Amari Gibbs situation and you say, well, Monty was a huge risk, right? But that worked out. So it's like sometimes it's hard not to say, hey, situation is going to overpower this kind of sketchy situation. Like, how good does Amari Gibbs look right now? You know, did we draft him too high? Maybe, but we wouldn't have got him if we didn't. So kind of hard to like navigate that. Let's open the phone lines for just a little bit. Phone lines are open. Hit me if you want to dial in and ask me a question for next week, or just, you know, chit chat about whatever. And what did everybody vote on this one? I got a Rice vote. I got a Devonta Smith vote. I got a Rashee Rice, a Rashee Rice, a Rashee Rice, a Rice, a Rice, a Rice, 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 Rashee Rice, Rashee Rice. Wow. He got so many votes in a row, Mr. T. I like the group think here. He's safe. Rashee Rice, my guy. Go Rashee Rice. I'm with the chat. Whenever the chat's that adamant, it's a good bet, bro. It's a really, really good bet. What's up, Red? You're live.
What's wrong, bro?
What's up, man?
Man, it's just not get them to that, brother. I mean, every one of my team put over 20 points.
God, Red, your phone is, the first time you call is always really jargled. Do you call from like the same place and then move, or like what? Why can't we hear you?
I don't know. I'm kind of young.
Try calling one more time. Just whatever you did last time worked. All right. Rock out. I saw you call in, and then I tried to answer and it didn't accept it. Donnie Bravo, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. Hey, so I just wanted to let you know that I got knocked out of the playoffs first round.
It happens, bro.
Yeah, it happens. But what's crazy is that this week my team scored the highest, and that's with me benching Puka. So I should be in the finals right now.
Yep.
But no stress at all. It was a fun season. I used a lot of your advice. I loved my team. They were awesome. But what I really wanted to tell you was that I actually won a $5 7-game parlay, and I actually won $1,200 today.
Sweet, bro.
So,
yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Sometimes that's what you need. You need like if you didn't have the direction of the loss, you wouldn't have gone in the direction of dropping that. You know what I mean? So like it all happens for a reason. That's why if anybody's feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to play anymore, this unraveled on me, it might send you on a course of thinking and direction of your team building style, and maybe you want to advance your trade negotiation skills, which I do on thefantasyfootballshow.com. I'll have all kinds of videos on that. I think that you got to look at it like that. Like maybe this turns you into some sort of, not you specifically, because you just proved it, that loss maybe made you go place that 7-player contest. And so, like, you wouldn't have done that. All I'm saying is if somebody lost, I want you to think of it like that. Like, this might set me on a course that next year I do so many things different that I win 2024, I win 2025, and I win 2026 back to back to back. And you wouldn't have done that had you not suffered the ups and downs of the 2023 season. So, like, nobody should be giving up. And I think that, you got to remember, again, only after this week, only 2 people make it through in every single league. It's not everybody's going to be there. It's going to feel like you got punched in the gut. But everybody that made it this far, you did great. And sometimes things fall crazy. Like you just said, you got the best team. Your team with Puka on the bench went nuts, and you would have won the league if you just advanced differently. You had a different seed. But it is what it is, bro. Don't think negatively about it. And I'm congrats on that 12, bro. $1,200 is awesome.
Yeah, so 12 for $5 only. That's pretty much winning the prize pool of the fantasy league. The only thing I didn't get was the belt, but definitely a confidence boost. Thank you for all your help, and that's all I wanted to share with you.
Donnie, appreciate you. Later, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right, rock out. Call back in. I didn't see you dial back in. Red, let's try this again. Red, what can I do for you, bro?
Nah, brother, you hear me now?
There you go.
I don't know how it happens every time, but he got 3 things, but that's all I got. So the first week, I didn't break 100, had like 96 points. This week, Gibbs went off, Lamb went off, Olave went off, Higgins went off, and he still, I can't believe Calvin Ridley came back from negative 1.2 points to 25.8. That guy killed me. And then I still have Lamar playing and Kelsey and Tucker playing. But I'm down by literally 75 points.
Yeah.
There's no way. But I was talking about Fields, though. I said Fields can get about almost 25 points, and he did. So I've learned some stuff from you, brother, and I appreciate you. It's just, I don't know, man. It might could happen.
well, I mean, Fields, I don't think you're going to lose because of Fields. You're not going to lose because of Fields, but, like, I think what Fields did was good. I think it was a really good game. And did you start Fields?
Nope. I put Lamar in.
Yeah. Lamar could still outscore him, or they score the same. I don't think that's going to be the difference maker.
Well, if Lamar scores 30, Kelsey scores 30, and Tucker scores 15, I could win.
Yeah.
But he has Jalen Hurts playing Monday night, so I don't see it happening for me. But you never know. You never know.
Hey, man, it is what it is, bro. You're just going to be that much better walking into 2023 or 2024, pal. You're going to crush it. I know it. We're gonna have so much content. Like if anybody's new here, the off season is even way more remarkable than the in season because there's so much news and we're just hitting it constantly whenever anything happens, bro. It's like we're here live and like just even if it's a rumor that I don't really believe to be true. Like let's say my source or somebody I'm close to the situation that I trust is like this isn't true. I'm still going live on the news report, if not just to shoot it down. Like, hey, there's a rumor this is going to happen. I don't see it happening. And in fact, I'm hearing it probably won't happen. So, like, don't think for a second that, that we won't be as active or anything like that. I don't know how long you've been around, but the show is way more active.
3 years, brother.
Yeah, okay. The show's way more active in the off season than it is the in season. But I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, later. Let's go over to Marsman Rock Out. What's up, my guy?
If finally your team started producing.
Oh, in the Marsman? God. For anybody that doesn't know the backstory on that real quick, the Marsman League, where whoever loses the Marsman League goes to the Moonman League, and whoever wins the Moonman League goes to the Marsman League, and there's only 24 of us in this thing. It's a exclusive little, 2-league, system. And by the way, we might have an opening in the Moonman League. So exciting news for anybody that wants to get one of those Moonman cards and get in there. I'll let you know about that later. But in the Marsman League, I believe, one of the best teams I've assembled all year, and I can't buy a win. I can't buy a win for anything. And it's been crazy. And the team finally exploded, or is exploding in this week. Who do I have left? I have Kelsey left, and I've got 167. Yeah, so and this is in the losers bracket, so it's not like but this win clinches that I don't drop into the Moonman League, which is the worst thing that you don't want to happen. You don't want to be the guy that gets knocked down. But I mean, Allen had 27.98 points. Eckler had 11.6. He's been crap. Achane had the 4.10 that sucked. Nakua had 33. Olave had 23. Kelsey hasn't gone yet. Ridley had 25.8. JSN had 12.10. Saunders had 22 points kicking the ball tonight, and the Jets had 8. I had a phenomenal week, and I'm just glad I didn't drop down into the Moonman League. Nothing wrong with my Moonman out there. It's just like that's the whole thing of that. You don't want to get kicked down, and you want to win the Moonman League and rise up. So freaking fantastic that my team finally stepped up. But man, they've been crap in the bed all year, and I kept getting hit with the injuries. I got hit with the Burrow injury. I got hit with the AR5 injury. I got hit with the Eckler injury. I got hit with the Achane injury. I got hit left and right nonstop. Olave's been banged up constantly. Kelsey falling flat on his rear end, all year. So like I got hit hard on that, but I still at least made it out of that mess. But the person that's probably going to, I would say, win this league, let's see, it's going to come down to, we got who is it? Russian Collusion versus Mark Cleveland. And we got Jack of All Trades versus you.
Looks like I'm getting taken out.
Yeah, you're losing 155 to 96. But so it'll be Jack of All Trades up against Mark Cleveland. That's gonna be a fun battle.
Yeah, I ran into a truck with Flacco and Hall.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. All right, what else can I do for you?
Yeah, just basically I wanted to discuss your good graces this week.
The what? Oh, yeah. How about in any other leagues? You doing well? You got any team left?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I basically lost my matchups for this week.
Damn. It happens, bro. It happens. I mean, especially if you only play in 2 or 3 leagues. It's tough to play in more, though, because then it starts meaning a little less and less to you. But, like, you need at least 2 or 3. If anybody out there plays in 1, you got to have 2 or 3 because, man, if an injury takes your team out, then, like, you know, it sucks. It makes it for a bad season. But that's why Underdog is so beautiful because you can restart at any moment. Just like anybody that got knocked out this week, just hit the link that I'm dropping in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video. Just play Underdog for Week 17. Draft a new team for Week 17. All right, rock out. Appreciate you, bro. If you got another question, call back in, though.
All right, cool.
All right, later. All right, Amy, you're live. What can I do for you?
Hey, I just, I wanted to say I have a cold, so if I sound terrible.
Okay, no problem.
But I just wanted to say to everybody, there's some people saying on the chat that one guy did not lose your team. So
right.
Every other if they're saying that, they're not watching your content. Because when I started, I had the worst team probably known to mankind. I mean, my second draft was a kicker. I had no idea what I was doing. And now I've got everybody from the waivers, but it's from watching your show.
Well,
and I won tonight.
You won, so you're going to the championship game. That's awesome. That's congratulations.
To the moon. Yeah, I'm 10 points ahead, and I still have Rice to play.
Who's your team?
I've got Jameer Gibbs, Kyron Williams. You had me pick up Williams. CD Lamb. That was a trade. Now you had me trade 2 other guys to get Lamb, and it worked.
Okay, Kyron.
And then I have Laporta. You had me get Laporta. Rice. You had me get Rice. Collins. Reed. And I did switch around. I lost some guys that you did say in the beginning to get because you said it was a better trade. And it worked. Because then I got Lamb, which has been carrying me. But I was 1-4 in the beginning. So.
And you got Tua, right? Who's your other quarterback other than Tua?
Yep, I have Tua. Oh, I've been doing Browning.
Okay.
He kind of hurt me this week.
Yeah.
But because the other guys are doing, and then I played Higgins, and he got me 25 points. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, look, your team's doing awesome. Tua next week. Tua next week faces the Ravens, so that's gonna be tough. But at the same time, it's like I don't trust Browning over him.
I might hit the waivers. No, I don't want to do Browning. I think I'm going to hit the waivers. But yeah. I know everything I have and everybody I have on my team is from watching your show. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Congratulations going to the championship. Call in this week or chat or whatever. We'll try and get you a quarterback.
All right, cool. Thanks.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you. All right, dial into the phone line. If anybody has any other questions, the phone lines are open for just a little bit. Tua's not bad, though, depending on what the waivers look like. Like, I'm not going to force... a waiver quarterback or Browning over Tua. Just not gonna do it. Let's see. Yeah, that squad was loaded. Breece Hall is carrying my team this week, says Ramos, Breece Hall. Get Breece, baby.
Get Breece.
He was freaking phenomenal tonight. So many big performances today. Today was, in general, a massive, massive day. Like it was there. I know some people lost. Some people had a rough go because a combination of different things. Not everybody's going to win. But, man, today felt fantastic. There were so many good performances. Chris, appreciate you. You're live. What can I do for you?
Hello?
Yep, what's up?
What's going on, Schmitty? It's your boy Casual.
What's up, Casual? What can I do for you?
Man, I'm going to the finals, man. And I made the playoffs in 5 out of 6 leagues, and out of those, I'm going to the finals in 4 of them. So, just want to give you a shout out for helping me out for those pickups. I actually drafted Tank Dell, and then I dropped him, and then somehow, some way, I ended up picking him again, and then he gets hurt. But
I don't know if that was you that told me that story, but that sounds very familiar from you. Maybe someone else that has a similar name than you called in and talked about that. But like, I dropped him, but I picked him back up. A lot of people did that. Tank is, you know what sucks is like, you know, like last year, for example. Last year, one of the bigger bold predictions was Breece Hall. And Breece Hall, you know, would have been 9 feet tall by now had he not had a setback. you know, and like last year, watching that bold prediction go down without any fighting chance at all, similar to watching Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson go down this year with the injury to Aaron Rodgers. It's such a painful part of this. This is that bad luck part when we say fantasy, in my opinion, is like 70 to 75% skill. And that encompasses like even the intake of information and sorting it out and trusting it and, you know, pushing the other information back out. You know what I mean?
Right. I was very impressed with James Cook as well, man. He was healthy all year, and he was just like a very silent assassin, man. He was coming through for me so much, especially towards the end.
But what I was going to say, but real quickly before I forget, what I was going to say was watching Tank Dell get taken from us after that was just one of the major wins that we've had as a community. I mean, Tank was literally walking people into a playoff, like a playoff lock seed. You know, I just can't believe, you know, injuries have been so bad this year, and they've taken so many players away from us. But like, this was one of them that hurt bad. When you mentioned Tank's name, I'd almost like put it behind me. When you said it, like, I feel like I got kicked right in the sack, bro, when you said it, because just like, man, what a big name, what a player that was carrying us. I can't wait to see.
That dude's special, man. I drafted him in 4 leagues, and I dropped him in all 4, but I was able to get him like two leagues. And then same thing with Achane. I had drafted Achane, and like I didn't have the patience in the first like few weeks. Dropped him, and then he blew up, and then he got hurt. So, but definitely for sure, Achane is going to be a monster next year.
Yeah.
And Tank Dell is a must draft for sure.
I can't wait to see where his ADP is.
All right, Trey McBride, my must draft players next year: Tank Dell, Achane, and Trey McBride, the tight end.
Yeah.
I need those guys.
I love these Achane haters, bro. I love them. I love them. It makes me feel when I see it, it's you know, it depends on how people do it, but when I see it, it makes me feel like we're getting inside track on what we're gonna see in the off season, and it's gonna be infectious. So it'll be good. He'll be so cheap. But the problem is, like, if he does explode, then he's gonna be hard to talk people out of, I think, at that point. But we'll just have to see how it all unfolds. Like, if he doesn't do well at all down the entire finish, then there's a concern about usage for next year, and then we got to look at that. But Mostert's an older player, and they believe in Achane. Maybe they didn't use him the way everybody wanted him to be used today, but Mostert got 11 carries too. It was 11-7. It wasn't that crazy of a difference in divide. But Mostert's going to be 32 years old next year. So we'll have to see. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see where the Achane doubt divides and affects people in the coming weeks and months. But we'll have to see. All right. Anything else, Chris?
Jordan Love too, man. I got to give a shout out to Jordan Love, man. He was another quarterback that just was phenomenal in fantasy this year. He was someone that a lot of people doubted, but man, he came through for me as well. So yeah, I wanted to throw out some players you don't really mention too much. Well, I mean, you always mention Tank and.
No, I'm glad you brought up Tank because we haven't talked about Tank in a while. Actually, some people forget, like when people come in and complain.
Are there some quarterbacks that you're going to be aiming for next year that are kind of like new up-and-coming quarterbacks, like the C.J. Strouds and
yeah, I mean
Stroud.
Brock
Purdy's.
I mean, let's wait till we get there. Let's get through this year, but those quarterbacks, it's more about like where do those quarterbacks level out at? How high do they climb? And the question will be, do they bump into the other guys that have been being ranked above them lower? That might be where the value is. It might not be the value in an unknown quarterback. It might be the value of a known quarterback that's at a discount because everybody's so excited about the other young guns coming up. We'll have to see.
Definitely. Looking forward for that Niner game tomorrow. That's going to be a hell of a game, Niner, Baltimore. So I'm really looking forward for that game. But, yeah, that's about it, though. Schmitty, I just wanted to call and say Merry Christmas to you, and thanks for everything you've done for us, for the fantasy community, and you and your family have a good Christmas, okay?
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you. Same to you.
See ya.
Theo from Illinois, you're live.
I made the finals.
Attaboy.
So I'm pretty hyped about that.
To the moon.
Wondering, I think I asked you this the other day. Do you think sometime this week we'll be able to do the rankings for the next season?
Yeah. Hopefully I can continue on with the running back rankings. The problem is when you wait even a week, they might have changed, but we'll see. We'll put them up, and I don't think anything would have changed too much, but we'll definitely
not for the dynasty, for the 2024 redraft rankings.
Do you mean on
the ones we did 1 through 7?
Oh,
on your main channel.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look into it. We'll definitely be doing a whole bunch of that really, really soon.
All right. Cool.
All right, man. Congrats on your win, bro. Later.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Golf with the super chat. How are the Garrett Wilson jersey contest drafts going? I think they're going to give us an update here after this week, so we'll know heading into the final week, like who's leading, etc. So hang tight on that, Golf. Thank you for asking on that. Definitely we'll let you guys know. Tony, appreciate you. Tony says, hey, Smitty, I'm projected 42%. Let me see if I can get this out of the way. This won't close. Smitty, I'm projected 42% up 11 points with Debo and A.J. Brown. My opponent has Purdy, Kelsey, and Pacheco. What do you think happens? I'll always give you my honest take, Tony, and I'll say, okay, you're 42% projected. You're up 11. You've got Debo, A.J. Brown. He's got Purdy, Kelsey, Pacheco. I think that's a pretty accurate assessment. That means 42% is good though, bro. That's like you're just basically, if let's say Kelsey does nothing for 2 quarters, it's gonna be 50-50 by halftime. So you're literally like half a player away. So if one player busts, you're in it. So I wouldn't. That's probably a good assessment. I like that 42%. I kind of agree with that. I definitely think that seems a bit accurate. This one right here from Ray G, who dropped a wad earlier. Ray G to freaking Saturn.
To Saturn.
Ray G, I appreciate you, my man. Ray G says, do you think Tank Dell will be ready to go to start the next year? Yeah, I do. I think he'll be good to go. Even if he's potentially, limited for a little while in the offseason, I think he will be good to go. Absolutely. Tank Dell. The other thing, too, is he's a smaller guy, and while a lot of people think that's a negative, there's less weight being put on his legs, and I just think anytime someone suffers a lower leg injury or lower body injury, I should say, that having less weight coming down, it's good, it's better, it's in a sense makes him. That's why a lot of times like guys that tear their ACL, like remember Jamal Charles, he was absolutely 100% the same player, and I'm not saying that it's a different injury, but I just think Tank Dell will look just as good. And it'll make him hungry. Sometimes this is the kind of thing that makes a player better. And I think he'll be hungry and just absolutely elusive as ever. It might take him a couple games, maybe. Who knows? Smitty, I had Puka, Cooper, and Hall on the bench this week. I'm down 20, and I have Devontae Smith playing tomorrow, and my opponent has no one. If I pull this off, it would be amazing to the moon. Let's send you to the moon for good luck, but
to the moon.
That sucks, man, that you had all that talent on the bench. there was a lot of you that had like this kind of talent. You had like 7 guys of that magnitude, and you had to pick 2. Like, it was crazy, some of the questions that we got this week. So, my advice on that would be to make trades before the trade deadline passes, and don't leave yourself open to this like crazy, puzzle of who to put in your lineup each week. Up by 25 now because Yahoo deducted 7 points off Denver. D, not sure what happened, makes my chances worse. Achane says, keep an eye on that. Usually when that kind of deduction comes off, there's either like, because you were getting some sort of points per, like once a score occurred, if a certain amount of points get scored, then you lose that advantage of that 7 points that they're giving you until that threshold gets hit. That's my guess as to what happened. And so the defense allowed too many points, and you crossed that threshold, and that advantage amount of points you were given was taken away. But if it got taken away and there's no explanation, it'll probably be added back, or it's an error, or there'll be some explanation. It's not just going to go unnoticed. People will complain to the rafters on it and get them to look at it if it's an error. Smitty to the moon. Listen how he helped this lady. Awesome. You heard it. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you. Salty Chopper says $20 hauler from Salty.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Salty to the freaking moon. Dropped 160 in the Moon Man semifinals with Odell Beckham Jr. yet to go. Just spread some love. Finals, here we come, baby. Smitty to the moon. Appreciate you, Salty, for dropping that. They're going to send you to the Saturn. To Saturn. Not to the moon, pal. To the Saturn is where we're sending you, Salty. That's where you belong. And Tank Deli is the reason why I made it this far. Thank you, Ray G. Appreciate your support. And, open phone lines for just a few more callers. I'm only going to let 2 or 3 people call in, and then I'm going to probably jump. It is Christmas Eve. Well, it's Christmas Day for most of you right now, so we're going to pack it in. But 2, 3 quick 30-second phone calls, and then we're gonna be back here probably late night, maybe about this time or a little earlier than this exact time. So probably about midnight exactly Eastern. So 10 o'clock p.m. my time, midnight Eastern. I don't think I'm going to be live, I would say, any earlier than that tomorrow. I don't think I'll be live in the morning. It's Christmas Day. We're doing breakfast and all that. And I'm not going to go live during the games or right after the games. I'll be live at midnight, roughly Eastern, or maybe right after the Niner game. That I could see that. If it's exciting and crazy, I could see myself kind of rushing into the studio and doing it. But hang tight. Just know I'll be live after all the games tomorrow. I will not be live during any sort of pre-game or mid-game or anything like that. Probably even breaking news, I probably wouldn't hit I'll probably wait until the evening to drop it, unless it was something absolutely like insane, like Randy Moss was coming out of retirement or something, something crazy. Then maybe I'd run back real quickly for a little 10-15 minute session. You know what I'm saying? 28 points with Hurts and Devonta Smith versus AJ Brown and Odell. I would take Hurts and Devonta Smith all day long. Number one, Hurts and AJ Brown will somewhat cancel each other out to a degree. Yeah, and you're up 28. TM, I like your odds. I bet you it gives them like a 15% chance max, maybe 20%. And that's even too high. That's even too high, I think. Whatever the system's giving you, I think it's too much. Okay, let's see here. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Thanks for everybody that called in. Thank you for everybody that super chatted. Thank you to Salty Chopper for the $20 hauler. Thank you to everybody that dropped a $20 hauler or super chatty. I don't care if it's $1. I appreciate every one of you. Deckard, Hassan, Andre, Luke all dropped super chats. Rise Above, Call Your Boy Loud, Jaime, Golf, Andre, Call Your Boy Loud again. Clemency, Big Tone, appreciate you. Chester, Mr. T, Kyle M, Who Dat Gator again, DeBalt, Rise Above again, Red, Rise Above again, Golf, Tony, Arthur, Salty Choppers 20, Asan, Ray G, and TM 42. Appreciate every single one of you guys dropping that super chat. Appreciate everybody just hitting the like button too. Like, that's huge. 270 to 300 people popping in and out still right now, so please punch that thumb up button and get that number above 100. I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate all of you. Congrats on all the big wins. So many of you have amazing victories and that you're sharing with us, and just excited for all of you. Have a great Christmas. Have a great holiday. Have a great whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrates Christmas. Today is Christmas, technically, for most of you. And I'll be here tomorrow night. Appreciate you all. Stay safe.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
Κοίτα σαν χαλεπαγιό.
Ethan, I'm on the way out the door. 20 seconds.
Smitty, I got a 90% chance to win in the semifinals against my cousin. He played Sam Howell over Aiden O'Connell. So
Nice job,
pretty
bro.
Good.
Nice job, bro. Congrats. All right, later, bro.
Thanks. All right.
Where were we before Ethan interrupted us? Golf with a $20 hauler right in the middle of exiting.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Golf, appreciate this $20 hauler you just dropped on the channel right out the door, man. Right out the door. I don't even think he expected me to come back and talk about it, but good God, man, what a monster. Golf to the moon.
Get Breece.